Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning, happy weekend.
Happy weekend everyone. And today Ryan and I were actually having a discussion and we said let's involve you all. And the key question on our mind today is, as we're thinking about house buying next year, should it be New York or should it be New Jersey?
Okay guys, so hope you can stay on to the end of this video because you'll know our decision at the end of the video. But to give you some background, and a lot of people ask these questions, do you own a house? Why don't you buy a house? Do you have houses in India? So yes, we have two houses in India, one in Mumbai, one in Pune. And both are our own houses. It's not our parents' house. They're both rented out. They're both houses which are investment properties. Actually, Mumbai we bought in 2002.
Yeah.
We bought a house, an apartment in Mumbai in 2002, so that's appreciated like 200 times. And Pune we bought in 2014 or 13. So that's another 7-8 years, whatever the price. I don't know if it's up or down, but we bought that for long term. So yes, we do own two houses, and that is separate of parents' houses and family houses. This is our own Karishma Ryan paid money houses. So wanted to make that clear because a lot of subscribers have said, you buy cars, why don't you buy a house? Now, I know in India buying houses is a big fashion, but we have two houses and we are going to buy one more next year. Okay, let's leave it at that. We are not in the business of collecting houses.
So the reason why New York actually got into the mix, as you all know, we live in New Jersey, we love New Jersey, and we love where we live and the proximity to New York City as well. And whenever we were thinking about long-term house buying here, we were obviously thinking New Jersey. And the reason why we are now toggling between New York and New Jersey is because, given the recent pandemic, there is this whole conversation around really property prices in New York, right? And that's why we are now thinking through, should we be changing in terms of how we are looking at house buying, what are our key needs, and what we wanted to do today was really look at what do we as a family really need, and what does New Jersey and homes in New Jersey have to offer versus homes in New York, and then really start narrowing down our search from that perspective. Yeah. So what's our key requirement, Ryan? What do you think is first need?
Yeah, so good. I think that sets the ball rolling that New York is attractive now because of the prices going down, but we know New York will go up in the future, just like Mumbai. So we obviously need 3 to 4 bedrooms for visitors, for the kids, 3 to 4 bedrooms, a basement, a garage because I love cars and bikes, that. So I don't think New York will have space in New York City.
Yeah,
New York State, upstate maybe, but New York City, garage and parking and space, like bedroom space, like this house we have is about 2,000 square feet total with storage and everything. In New York, this kind of rent would have cost us 7,000-8,000 a month.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But now we're talking about buying. So, Karishma, your thoughts on the space of New York apartments? I'm saying New York City, not state.
Yeah.
So when we say New York, we mean New York City, Manhattan, downtown, whatever.
Yeah, so my sense, and I'm leaning towards this, is I think we've been city slickers for so long. We love it, but I think I'm ready to
go big.
I mean, I think I'm just ready for just suburban life where you have a little bit of your own green spot, you have your own green space, you have room to stretch, and like Ryan mentioned, children are getting bigger and they need their more, own space. And now with all of us being at home so much, we all have our, internal hobbies and things that we want to do, and you just want to be more self-contained at home. So I'm heading in that direction.
Yeah, and one is the space and parking issue, but New York City, the state taxes, the cost of living, houses don't come with dryers, washers, parking never comes with the apartment. So you may have a nice apartment in Manhattan, 3-4 bedroom, pay about $2 million, but then you don't have anything above that.
Yeah.
And you still go onto the streets of New York City, they're dirty, they're crowded, they're full of tourists. Okay, now with COVID, there are no tourists, but later they will come. So we don't want to have a life in New York City. Our work is in New York City. I mean, Karishma's work is in Brooklyn, so she will always be there. But we can live anywhere near, and now technically we are 1 mile away from New York City. We face New York City. So we just have to swim across the Hudson River, and we are at Manhattan. So, one thing is space, second thing is cost, third thing is schools. Now, what are your thoughts about schools for New Jersey, New York?
So when we first moved here, and we were kind of thinking about the same question, more from where do we put our shoes and roots down. And the general feedback that we got was, New York City schools are hit or miss. Again, it's a function
Public
of
school.
public schools, obviously,
Yeah.
and it's a function of where you are, which is all over the U.S. So I don't know, maybe having gone through the public school system here in Fort Lee, which is really good. Maybe I'm biased.
Yeah. No, it is.
But the more I think about it, I feel just more comfortable with the approach and the infrastructure and everything here.
So Ivanka's in the middle school, so she's stuck in the school system for a few years. Darren goes to college next year, so we also have to see where he gets, if he gets some college maybe in another state, maybe we'll feel like going there and setting up there. So who knows, we may be talking New York, New Jersey today, but tomorrow may be another state.
Another state in the
like when we lived in Louisville, our rent was $900 a month, and here we are paying like $3,500. So we are paying a lot in rent, which is fine. We love our apartment, the facilities, the building, the parking, the view. But next year we want to buy, and we want to buy, where we don't take too much of loan, and we put down, a lot of our own money. So we're saving for that as well. But then we like to enjoy life too. So we're not going to cut on our life just because we want to buy a house. The other thought Karishma had was, and we were talking also, is why don't we buy a small investment property in New York, like a 1-bedroom, and then, a decently sized house in New Jersey, not very big, but then you have two of best of both worlds. What are your thoughts?
Again, pre-pandemic, I think folks used to do that, where they would have their main home, wherever, in New York State or outside the city, and they would have a small apartment in the city where, they would be there and work, or, flip it the other way around, want to spend the weekends in the city and enjoy everything that the city offers. So I think that's something which again adds a little more variability into the conversation.
Or, just go cheap and buy a Jersey Shore kind of house, a big bungalow near Jersey Shore, but that's way south.
Yeah.
It's much cheaper, but you get a view of the ocean.
You're right on the beach.
Yeah. So these are some of the thoughts. I know a lot of my audience are not based in New York and New Jersey, but give me your views, give us your views. We would like to see your comments. And, it is something we want to do right at the first time. Because if like I have friends who've bought houses in New Jersey, then they've sold it to buy bigger houses and they've lost $70,000-$80,000 because Jersey property rates have not skyrocketed as much as, let's say, Bombay had at one time or New York had at one time.
True.
So whatever you buy, you may lose money if you sell, but we want to buy a house to live in. So we're not worried about the resale or the, cost of living. We'll decide and then buy accordingly.
Yeah, ideally it should be our forever home. So it meets our needs now. It meets our needs as we move on over the years.
But I think next year is the right time because this whole COVID thing we'll know what life is about.
Yeah.
If Karishma is only going to work from home, then we don't need to be in a prime rental or a cost city. We can go somewhere near Niagara Falls, or we can work you can work out of Texas or anywhere. I mean, the whole map is our oyster, basically.
Absolutely.
So yes, our houses in Bombay and Pune are going nowhere, so we get rent out of them. We are very happy with those investments. Actually, my brother has a house in Goa, so we are waiting to see that house as well. He's bought an investment property. My brother lives in Bandra, but he's bought a house in Goa. So we must visit when we go next time.
For sure.
Yeah. And as you know, my parents are happy in Mumbai, so they have a house just next to where we bought in a colony in Mumbai. So my parents take care of that house. My dad takes care of that house for us, the rental and the maintenance. So yeah, I think we've talked a lot about houses today. But we should be updating you guys through this journey, and we'll show you some houses when we look at them also, because I share everything with my subscribers. Now, don't ask me my budget and how much we're going to pay because that is a little confidential. But yes, you will see some new stuff in the channel next year on the house part.
3 cheers to that. Wish
All
us
right.
the best.
Yeah. Okay. So let's sign out then. Thanks guys for joining. And please like, share, subscribe. Let's know in your comments. And yes, Karishma, we have to do the Q&A video. So that will be...
I'm looking forward to putting
Yeah.
Ryan in the hot seat. So send over your questions if you haven't
so
already.
those who have not yet put questions, you can put those questions in today's video. But I have questions of the last video which I need to... We'll make the Q&A I think tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So we are having a busy day on the weekends too, but we'll do that video for you soon. All right, guys, take care.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.